Okay, thanks for joining me today. Basically, we are going to be talking about a file that will help document how much fat you burn in a day. And I know that sounds, like why would I need that? And it's not really something that I need, but I think it'll be interesting to see that, day by day, minute by minute, there are tons of things that we do that could ultimately lead to fat loss. It really does boil down to, maybe one more minute of exercise or possibly a little less food. I mean, that all translates into really a percentage of a pound of fat. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is that if you do download my file, make sure that you save an unaltered master copy and then just modify a secondhand copy. And the reason I say this is because there are a lot of formulas that are in this file, and a lot of them are contingent on other formulas and other information. So if you do modify something, I don't want it to be permanent, because the file is about $2 online. So save it on unaltered master, and that'll keep you safe. Gray boxes as you go through, those are actually the fields that you're going to input value. Some include height, age, weight, gender, what type of exercise you're doing, and the total number of minutes per exercise. All the white spaces, don't enter in any information in there. Usually those are formulas or they're raw data that another formula is pulling from. So basically just leave those alone. Final result, it's at the very bottom right here. Right now it's showing 0.42 pounds of fat. Yep, that's in one day. It's actually today if I don't eat anything else. So that's pretty interesting, but we'll get to that in a second. So general information about the file, it's just in a simple Excel file. There's only one spreadsheet here that you really need to worry about. It's easy to use, and I think the cool thing is that when you do put in all the information and you look at it and evaluate it, I think you'll find it really fascinating that it really does boil down to 1 minute out of the day that can completely change your body composition, because if 1 minute out of the day, every day, day in and day out, it really starts to add up. So I think you'll see that really pop out when you put in some of the information. So really, I compiled this to help you keep a rough track of the calories burned. So I hope you enjoy this video, and hopefully it encourages you to download the file and begin the first step of really changing your life. So the weight I've got is 182. I'll go ahead and put in 180 because the file has already started to change my life. Age is 26 here. I've already got that in there, so I won't worry about that. Height, I am 6 foot, so that's converted into inches, 72, just feet times 12. Pretty easy, straightforward calculation. Male, now let's say I'm a female. This is pretty interesting. So my final result, this BMR, calories burned, basically it's your basal metabolic rate, and what it's showing here is that it's calories burned at rest. So I'm showing 1,654 as a woman, and then as a man 1,925. Primary reason behind this is the formula is below, number one, and really number two, that obviously men and women have different body compositions, and therefore they're going to have a different number of calories that they burn at rest. So that's important to keep in mind. Once you get that populated, go ahead and move on to the next section. You're going to have to enter your general weight category. So here, I don't have that auto-populated just yet. So it's pretty straightforward. If you're 120, if you're 120 or below, select 120. 180 above, select 180. If you're 140, closer to 140 or closer to 160, just use your judgment in terms of which category that most closely identifies you. Variations between the categories won't be that dramatic, so that's why I don't have very specific numbers, but they do give you a general sense of how many calories that you burn per your weight for these different categories. So I think it's pretty interesting. So looking at this, I've already got my aerobics, traditional aerobics, 15 minutes. Weight training will be about 60 minutes. So my total number of calories that I've burned is 754. Pretty straightforward. Now that 754 will be added to the BMR calories burned at rest, 1,925, giving me close to 3,000 calories. Calories from food, pretty straightforward calculation. I got 90 times 2. Let's just go ahead and I'll walk you through this entire thing. So, I had a bowl of cereal today. I know that that was about 120 calories, so look at the box. Plus 2 eggs. Now, eggs isn't as straightforward, so we'll go ahead and just Google it. Google is your friend. So then you're going to type in 2 eggs calories. Yeah, funny story. So this guy is griping and complaining about a software company that will remain that the name will remain. I'm not going to tell you the name, basically. Anyways, so this guy was griping about this, and it was a really simple problem that he could just easily Google, and he said he was on hold for an hour, and I told him, why don't you just Google it? And he got pretty upset with that. But you know what? Really, Google is pretty easy to use, pretty straightforward. Usually it'll tell you what you're looking for. So here we got calories per serving for an egg, 54 calories. That was pretty simple. See what I'm talking about? That's all I had to do to look up that problem. So I got 54 calories. What did I say? 2 eggs times 2 times 2. That was pretty easy. Now bacon. I'm gonna look at bacon too. Let's see. Go ahead and put this in. Bacon. Calories. Perfect. Hello. Okay, Calorie King, Calorie Counter, calories in bacon. Alright, how many do we have? Bacon, broiled, or pan fried? Okay, pretty easy. There we go. Alright, calories, 46 medium sliced cooked bacon. Okay. 46 calories, but I had 2 of those. Yeah, I'll just say I had 3. Let's just highball it. I like to lowball the workouts and highball the food. And I'm happy. That's it? No, I had 1 glass of milk. So I gotta factor in that milk too. Let's see. Calories. 2%. I could spell 2% milk. Heck. Sorry, folks. Having typing problems here. Okay, so calories and 2% milk. Calories in milk, we use that. Calories in Scottsburn. Calories in 2%. There we go. Alright, serving size 1 cup, calories 122. How about that? Okay. So I'll add that in there. 22. So, I think we're pretty much covered. Let's see what the grand total is. 488. Okay. So, but that's just for breakfast. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch or dinner. What this is showing, what this calculation is doing, is taking the calories burned at rest. So if I did nothing at all, this would be the total number of calories that I burned, 1,925. And it's adding calories burned during my workout, which is 754. It's adding those two together and then subtracting the sum of that from the total calories that I've consumed from food. The calculation that I walked you through earlier. Okay, so once I have that, it then divides it by 3,500, as you can see in the formula here. And then double click, right? So it adds that, these two, subtracts that out, divides by 3,500. Great. So I see I've burned 0.63 pounds of fat for the day so far if I continue in this direction and eat nothing more. That's not the case. Obviously, I'm going to eat more, so I'll be burning closer to 0.5 pound of fat if I can keep the ratio pretty close to 0.63. Anyways, that's great, assuming that I don't eat more. Now, the assumption in this is that everything that I'm burning is fat. But as many of you know, that's not always the case. Sometimes we burn muscle. So this number can vary based on the website providing, the information. Sometimes it's 900 calories in 1 pound of muscle, whatever. I mean, this is a generally accepted ratio. So 3,500 calories in fat, 800 calories in muscle. What you can do, just do a little research in terms of how to prevent muscle burning. And it's also called catabolization, where your body basically breaks down its muscle. A lot of times it's cardiovascular workout where your heart rate exceeds a certain number of beats per minute, which is pretty easily avoidable. You just don't overexert yourself. You stay within a consistent heart pattern that will allow you to burn as many calories as possible. So just do the research, find out what you need to stay in that fat burning mode. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can probably just look at one article and get a good idea of how to do that. And apply the rules and principles that I've taught you in this spreadsheet. Go down and go to payloads.com. Download the Excel file. I think it'll help you out a lot. There are a lot of people out there with all these breakthrough diets, but I don't think they really help. I think the big thing that helps is really to give you a better understanding of yourself, and that's what this file does. Socrates said, "Know thyself," and that's really what makes people successful at the end of the day. So know yourself. Download this file, put in the information, and see where you stand. And I really hope to hear from you, and I'm really interested in your feedback. If there's anything else that I can do to make this more advantageous, better for you, please let me know, and I'm all ears. So hopefully this helps you as much as it did me.